Welcome to the Embody Pursuit, Find Your Purpose While Walking 10,000 Steps podcast. Okay, so I invite you, if you are sitting down on your booty, if you are off work, if you are able to stand up and you're listening to me while you're at work, I invite you to get up off of your booty. There is no reason why we should all be just sitting on our booties, just consuming, because it's easy to do that, right? Today, we're going to find your purpose. And I'm really excited about it because this is the beauty of being at the age that I'm at. Okay. This is the beauty of being at the age that I'm at. I didn't realize that my purpose was staring me in the face. What up? I'm working from home today. Bomb. Okay. Perfect. So let's get in here. We're going to have a good deep dive, a good chit chat. I actually, for once, have some notes, that I'm going to talk about, but we're going to help find your purpose. Okay. So this is a masterclass, and I know this is not a traditional masterclass, but I want you to imagine that we're both walking on a beautiful hike somewhere on a beautiful trail. Or if you love the beach, like that we're walking at the beach and you're like, I really got to figure out my life. I really got to figure out my purpose. Okay. It's snowing here, so I'm ready to hear. Okay, perfect. So what I want to do is I want to start with kind of a quick little miniature backstory of my life. Okay. So before I get into that, also, as you guys are coming in, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what city you guys are from, or maybe, if you don't feel comfortable with the city, what state you're from. Let me know as you guys are coming in. And I want to put something here in the chat for you guys while we're getting started here. But I want to start, okay, by giving you guys a little bit of my story. And I don't think I've ever said these aspects of my story yet. Maybe I have a long time ago, but I'm going to say them in a different way, and we're going to dive in. Okay, so let me go ahead and make sure I put this in the chat for you guys. Okay. Okay, North Carolina. Okay. Make sure I pin this. Also, too, I invite you guys, if you are able to stand, if you're able to walk, or maybe just do after the next 10 minutes of listening to me, I invite you to walk, sit, or stand, sit. Okay, so walking, sitting is a new smoking. So how we can eradicate that is to do some kind of moving your body. Okay, so I even decided, I was like, why would I sit and do this? Imagine we're walking together. So you guys see what I do almost on a daily basis, right? Or every other day. And you might say, okay, it just seems like Ciana's been doing this forever. It seems like this is so easy for her. I wonder how she got there. Or, you seem so confident, right? I get that a lot. You seem really confident. You seem like this just comes naturally to you. And it did not. Okay, it did not. I do squats or jumping jacks, and okay, I love it. That's even better. Okay, so I was someone that it's weird. It's I was confident growing up, but then I wasn't. And I feel like that's normal teenage life. You're kind of confident in some areas, but in some areas you're terrified. You're just kind of learning how to be a human being. Okay. And so when I was in high school, and also too, if you hate your job right now, if you're watching this and you're maybe 30 and under, or even 35 and under, and you hate your job and you want to get out of it, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do as well. So stay tuned. This is going to be multifaceted gem dropping for you to be able to implement right now. So when I was in high school, I was pretty popular. Wasn't intentional. I was a cheerleader. I was in student council. All of that, right? So those things kind of came naturally to me. But what I didn't realize was why, right? What about being a cheerleader? What about being on student council? Why did people vote me in as vice president and all these different little awards I would win, right? And I didn't realize this at the time, but I naturally knew how to connect with people. I did not know that then. College comes. I'm a part of different dance teams. Have multiple jobs. I graduate with honors. I'm a part of different clubs. I won different competitions. I was randomly at one of my jobs, I got asked to be on ESPN on the radio. And I was like, sure, like I'll do it. I'm like 19, 20. I've never been on the radio. I haven't been trained to be on the radio, right? So I get on and like I end up being like kind of good. What up, everyday muscle? This is gonna be good. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for this one. So we're gonna help. If you don't know your purpose, we're gonna find it today. And if we don't find it today, I'm gonna steer you so far into the direction, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been sitting in front of me the whole time. All right. So they asked me, they were like, yeah, the host didn't show up. Do you want to go on it? And I'm like 19. I'm like, sure. Okay. So I get on and like I'm fumbling around a little bit, but I actually like do pretty well because I'm not like overthinking it, right? Like I don't have any expectations. They're just like, yeah, answer these questions. They were super easy, like sports questions, right? Really, really lighthearted. I didn't have to know like all the stats of like the newest da 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 da. It was just like basic college, like just like it was just fun information to talk about. Then I graduate college. I'm working. I get asked to talk at a panel. I'm like, why would someone ask me to talk at a panel? Like what's the point? Like, why would someone ask me? So I'm like, sure, talk on a panel. I'm like 23 at this point, 23 or 24. Or maybe I might have even been like my senior year in college. Either way, I was like 22, 23, or 24. And I talked to a bunch of high school students. I'm super nervous. I'm like sweating. I'm shaking. I go and I'm like on this panel. And I end up doing like a pretty good job. I'm like, okay, cool. I get it. I move further up in my job in the company that I was working for at the time. And I ended up getting promoted really, really quickly in that job, which I hated. I hated that job. Okay. Just want to emphasize that. I hated that job. But God had me there for a reason, and I'm going to explain that in a second. So in the job, I would have to conduct these conference calls. And sometimes the conference calls would have like 50 people on it. Okay. And I'm like 25, 26 years old. And I would have to conduct these conference calls. And I wouldn't write notes. Some other district managers would be like, I have to write my notes. And I'm like, they're like, what are your notes like? And I'm like, oh, you write notes? Like, I don't write notes, right? Okay, so if you notice, there's a theme here. If you feel like you kind of can tell or notice it, write it down. I would like to see if you guys are kind of catching on to where I'm going. So I hate this job, but I have to conduct these conference calls. And I remember one time this other district manager was like, you're really good on the conference calls. Like, you're really, really good. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, like, what's your notes? And I'm like, I don't, like, we're supposed to take note, like, we're supposed to prepare. Like, I didn't know, because I'm just like, okay, I'm supposed to conduct a conference call. And it wasn't like I wasn't prepared at all. I had like a general idea of like some bullet points, but like other people would like literally script out their stuff. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So then I move up. Now I end up quitting that job. I hated it. I hated that job. I felt like my soul was getting sucked on. I felt there were some morals and ethical things that were going on that I did not agree with. So I quit that job. I talk about that in other videos. So I end up having an opportunity to be a part of like doing different events in LA. Right now I have more free time. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to jump right into a career. I'm just going to do a bunch of gig jobs till I figure out what I want to do. So when I would do these gig jobs, I would, get hired for them. Every time I got invited back, every single time they'd be like, we have another event we want you to do. I ended up meeting other people like through doing these gig jobs where they would have like a project they were working on, or they're starting a business, or they needed an executive assistant, or they needed like kind of like a consultant. Like all these kind of random things, right? And they would ask me to do it. I'm like, why are people asking me to do these things when I'm not like, I'm just here to do the basic, work on the basic event and like greet people and, direct people. But there was just something that I was naturally doing that I didn't realize that was like hovering right there the whole time. So fast forward, I'm working, my grandmother's starting to get more sick. I become more of a full-time caregiver for my grandmother. The pandemic happens, and I start going on YouTube. I start posting about my caregiving journey. I start posting about just fitness and wellness and God and, life journey stuff and how I've overcome something, right? And so now it's to the point where I'm a full-time entrepreneur, like doing something that I really, really am passionate about and I really enjoy. But like I couldn't have said, this is what I want to do in the future because like this didn't exist yet, right? Like when we were, Everyday Muscle, Lisa, most of us that are, 34 and up, like this YouTube thing, social media, it wasn't what it was. Like there was no such thing as making money online like this. Like you would have had to hire a coder or get a coding book from the library and learn how to code yourself to build a website. Then you have to like package up an item by yourself and figure out how to do that and ship it all, put it all in your car and ship something out. Like Jeff Bezos was like literally selling books out of his garage. You know what I mean? Like this didn't exist. So I couldn't have said, oh, I'm going to be doing something where I'm using my voice, right? Like I'm going to be using my voice to sell things. Like, and it's like, how do you even categorize that as like a career path, right? And so here's the thing. By the end of this video, you're going to have an idea of what your purpose is, and we're going to get you to package it up into some kind of thing where you can make money, okay? Now, let me know if you're here. Let me know if it's making sense. Hello, everyone. Times change, new opportunities open. Exactly. So if you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you're confused, now with you guys kind of hearing my short, a very, very quick, 8-minute timeline of my life, I want you to now go back in time and see if you notice a theme. So for me, I'm gonna tell you my theme that I noticed, which is why I'm able to make money online, which is why I'm able to get, my networking skills are pretty good, why I'm able to get opportunities. I'm going to tell you the answers were always there because I always felt lost. I always felt like, gosh, like, why is it that other people can just know they want to be a doctor, right? Like, why is it that other people just know they want to be a lawyer? Why is it that other people know that they want to be a dancer, an actor? Like, why, like, is something wrong with me, right? Like, why don't I know what I want to do? I just know I want to do. This is actually what I said. I was like, if I had to, they were like, well, what's your dream? Your dream. And I was like, I wish I could get paid for being myself, which that didn't exist, right? So people were like, okay, fat chance. Next, what do you actually want to do? But I literally said that. I was like, I just want to like be myself and get paid. Like that was as simple. It wasn't like I want to be the president. I want to be the next senator. I was like, I don't have a path. Like, I just know today, make money literally today by using my template. You don't have to do anything but switch out the words, put your own words into it. But literally you can take this template and resell it. So let me explain. Quick pause. You guys asked and I delivered. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited about this. So my ebook that a lot of you guys have purchased, I'm actually giving that to you guys. I'm making it available, I should say, for you guys to be able to create your own ebook using my exact template. Okay, so you can literally buy my template. You do not have to worry about starting from scratch. All you have to do is just input your ebook information. So if you've been wanting to start some kind of side business or you've been wanting to have your own ebook, this is your opportunity. So right here, you can see, here's my ebook. I'm giving you the template. So you're going to get, not only are you going to get the ebook, but you're going to get an editable, so a customizable the ability to put your own information using the Canva app. All you have to do is download Canva and boom, you will have this template. Okay. All of the words and everything will still be there. You can't resell my words, of course, because it's copywritten, but you literally, everything is formatted for you perfectly. Everything is sized for you perfectly. All you have to do is get the template, create your own ebook to sell, and give your customers, your clients, your community the opportunity to make their own editable ebook. So you can sell the template as well with your own information in it, but you can do the same thing with your clients, with your customers. Okay. So there's 3 opportunities here. You get the ebook guide with the information. So if you need to lose fat, you learn that. You get an editable ebook so you can start selling your own ebook, and you can sell the template with your own information in it to your customers to do the same thing. It's insane. So get it right now. It is 25% off for a limited time. I just launched it. That price will be going up. I can't even believe I'm giving it away for the price I'm giving it away for, and I'm giving a discount, but get it before the price goes up. Back to the episode. Like, I just know I want to, like, I know I have skills, I know I have gifts, but like, I just want to wake up every day, be of value, help people, and then like look at my bank account and see money there. But like, I couldn't have articulated like, oh, I want to be a YouTube streamer, or I want to build online, multiple streams of income, or I want to open up an investing account. I didn't know like the language. Okay. My first YouTube live. Wow. Oh, is it your first YouTube being here? Hopefully so. And welcome. Okay. So I'm going to go, now that you guys know my timeline, I'm going to go backtrack it and explain to you like what I wish I would have been able to figure out, but I was meant to not figure it out. So that way I could teach you how to figure it out ASAP. Okay. The whole time when I was at my district manager job, when I was working at these events in LA, when I was being asked to speak on panels, and I'm literally like 23, people were seeing something in me that I didn't see. Okay? Because most of the time when you do something so natural, you think everybody does it. You think everyone does it, right? So say if people call you out and they're like, wow, you're actually really good at like dancing, or you're really good at like, how did you resolve that so quickly? And you're like, what do you mean resolve it so quickly? Like, doesn't everybody do that, right? Or you're really good at like doing your hair, and you're like, what? Like, doesn't everyone do their hair like this? So there's things that you keep getting told, but in your mind, you're like, it's normal. Okay, so that's number 1. So I want you to really think about like, what do people tell you? It could be the tiniest thing, like, you're really good at like doing your eyebrows. Like every time it's perfect. And in your mind, like, you're like, what do you mean it's like, doesn't everybody do their eyeliner like, or their eyebrows? Like, how can you not see the preciseness, or how can you not tell the angle that it's supposed to be in? Like, doesn't everybody do that? Okay. So I want you to take a couple minutes, right? Like, as I'm going to continue to, unfold this, but take a couple minutes, either think about it or jot something down. What do people tell you all the time? Okay. Now, going to these events, being a district manager, conducting conference calls, being asked to be on ESPN, being asked to interview, answer questions on a red carpet, being asked to be a part of a documentary that's on LA Times right now, being asked, and you guys, I'm not trained for this. Like, you can even see me in some of these things that I've done. I'm like looking a little like, it's a little borderline, like, but there's something that they saw, right? When I was in junior high school, I didn't even realize this, but this is going to sound really conceited the way that I'm going to say it, but I'm telling you, during that time, I really did not understand. So when I was in high school, I was so popular. I didn't realize this at the time. You couldn't have told me this at the time. But now when I look back, I'm like, I was like really popular. at the time, you know how like there's student council, and I went to school with about 2,000 to a little over 2,000 kids. You know, so it's a decent sized high school. Okay, people are like, Ciana, I'm not running against you. Like my junior year and senior year for student council, no one wanted to run against me, and I'm like, and I was like, is there something I did? Like I thought, like there, I was like, wait, did I say something? Like I don't get it. People were so intimidated because they knew that I knew how to connect with people like the best in the class. Like, and I didn't know this, right? I didn't know this, but it's like they just knew that I was going to win because they saw in me what I couldn't see, which was I was able to convince people to do things. I was able to encourage people because I really cared. Like, if you needed help with your homework, I really like tried to help, or they knew I just had this gift of like connecting. Okay. And so when I look back at like my little 15-year-old self, like I would have been able to see that. Okay. So I just won. I kept winning because no one wanted to run against me because they're like, oh, like Ciana's going to win. Right. So let me just see what you guys are saying really quickly. Hallie said, when something is so easy for you, you don't realize what value that thing is. Most others can't, that can't do it. Exactly. Let's see. Everyday muscle things. Wow, that was simple. Okay, so now fast forward, right? Like where I'm at. Now it's all clicking together, right? Because now I'm able to literally get paid for being myself. So it took me 20 years. It does not have to take you 20 years. But it took Ciana, it took me 20 years to finally like figure that out, which essentially was being an entrepreneur and like helping people in some arena, and then in exchange selling them something that is going to help them, right? So on TikTok, I sell a lot of products. Like TikTok is completely separate from YouTube. So I sell a ton of products on TikTok, right? I've had brand deals. You know, I make sales over here on YouTube, right, for my digital products, and a lot of my affiliate marketing links, right? So I say all that to say, I'm literally just being myself. Like I've always been someone that can help people, and I, for some reason, the resonance in my voice, the genuineness, me just genuinely empathetically connecting with you, right, is sometimes in the future, you know, either I make a sale at that moment, or 6 months from now, there might be something that I saw. You're like, oh, I trust Ciana because she's consistent, or I trust Ciana. I see the way she's moved all these years, or you know, I may not need something now. I may not need this, but I'm just going to buy it to support it, right? Like whatever it is. But I've been doing this for a long time, way before I was ever even had a presence online, right? So if you're like, okay, I want to be consistent on my YouTube. I want to make money on YouTube, but it feels like it's going to take forever to make money on YouTube. The way that you're going to be able to stay consistent on YouTube, eventually get the bonus of getting AdSense, okay? Because it's a bonus, is you need to create something that makes you want to show up on YouTube every day. So I think a lot of people don't think about this. So let me actually back up here. Let me see what you guys are saying. Have you ever heard of Clifton Strengths Finder? Helps you identify your strengths. I haven't heard of that one, but there's another one that I've taken. What's the other one? But I mean, I'll definitely try that one out too. Next question. How did you at me? Okay, you guys are having your own. Let's see. The whole name does it automatically. Will it work? Popped up. Sable, I think. Named in the chat. Okay. Want to see if there, okay, so just want to see if there's any questions so far about what I'm talking about. So what I want you to do, some of you guys already have digital products. Some of you guys are already working in your careers, okay? And you guys just have your YouTube as like extra, or it's just kind of like in addition to what you're doing, which is fantastic. This is more so for you where you're like, I really want to transition out. Like, I hate my job. You guys, there's people that show up, that go to work with massive amounts of anxiety, literally feeling like they're on the verge of throwing up, like literally, because they hate their job so much. So I was there. I was that person. I hate, like, my particular, I don't know why that ended up being my path, but like my entire 20s, I hated my job. Hated it. And like that sucks because you're at a job for 8 hours a day. However, I didn't know God was prepping me to learn how to work on your own because I was a district manager, right? So I was by myself a lot. My boss lived in Ohio, so I didn't even see my boss in person until like every 2 to 3 months, right? So I had to be trusted a lot. So that's what I essentially do now. I have to trust myself, like I'm my own boss, right? So I was learning structure, I was learning responsibility, I was learning discipline, I was learning how to build trust with people. I would be sitting at work with people and hating what I was doing, but I was connecting with the other managers that were there. I would connect with the customers, right? I would have great conversation, get into a 15-minute conversation with a customer, right? I would by the time I would be done having a conversation, like I would have to conduct yearly reviews with the managers that worked under me. I'd have to give them a review. By the end of that review, they were in tears of like, Ciana, you've like changed my life. And I'm like, huh? You know? And maybe it was like, it was something small that I said, or maybe just me genuinely listening, or me actually being able to repeat back the problem that they had, and then me repeating it back and then giving them a resolution. And they're like, you just changed my life. And I'm like, what? So during that time, that 8 years that I hated working at that job, or it was like 9 years, that pretty much a decade of me hating what I was doing, I was being developed for something else a decade, even more in the future with where I'm at now. Right? Like I had no idea. I had no idea I would be making money online with walking on a treadmill, like talking to people all over the planet. Like I didn't know that, right? So what I want to say is number one, if you don't like where you're at right now, know that God is prepping you and molding you and shaping you and giving you a foundation for what you're about to get into, like your next season. Okay? So that's for some of you on here that really just do not like your life, okay? You're there for a reason. And there's no way you can know until you're out of it. So that's why I'm like, people like kind of despise getting older or, oh, aging and all that. It's like such a blessing because I'm like, oh, now I understand this. Oh, now I see the repetitive cycle of this. Oh, now I get why I went through that, right? So like that's the beauty of being on the planet longer because you actually have like, it's your wisdom, like you're going into your wisdom years, right? So there's that. So get with your, just write I hope that you guys have been like thinking about this. Write it down. What are some things that you always, you're the go-to person. People always come to you for advice. People always come to you for relationship advice. People always come to you to even calm them down. Like you might be the person that people come to you and then after they get off the phone with you, they feel calm, right? Write that down. Try to challenge yourself to write down 100 things. It could be the tiniest thing. People come to me for how to do my lip liner. People come to me for the men on here. Okay, I always have, my beard always looks a certain way. People are always asking me how I do my beard. Like, I'm like, doesn't everybody do their beard like this, right? So every single tiny little thing. And then I want you to see if there's a theme there. Okay, I want you to see if there's a theme there. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. I was going to just pay someone on Fiverr to create one, or I'll pay Ciana to create one for me. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying. I needed a digital product, and I don't care. I'd even just put the link to yours in my videos. Um, So everyday muscle, especially with you, it's like you're 48, I believe. I think you said you're in your later 40s. You are super, good on your fitness, okay? Like that's your ebook. Like all the things that people are saying in your comments on your channel is your ebook. Like your ebook will create it essentially will create itself, right? Now, if you don't want to sit and do the time, yeah, I would just hire someone to actually like put it together for you, because you do have to. This is the thing. So with my ebook, because I know how to connect with people, it's like I can sell an ebook about YouTube. I can sell an ebook about hair care. I can sell an ebook about makeup. I can sell an ebook about my how to lose fat ebook guide, right? It's not really the ebook. It's that I'm able to connect with you and help convince you to get out of your own way to help you get to resolve your pain, right? Like I can get you from point A to point B, right? So there's something that's the answers to that are in your comments. So the only reason why I even wrote my ebook was because it was like women were coming to me with those issues, and I was like, well, this is what I do. And then they would implement what I said. And then I was like, I keep repeating myself over and over. And then people keep saying, yeah, I tried what you said, Ciana, and I lost 8 pounds. I lost 10 pounds. Ciana, I lost 20 pounds. Ciana, oh my gosh, like my face is getting thinner. Oh my gosh, Ciana, I'm losing inches around my waist. Like, and I was like, what? So I just put it into an ebook, and then, now it's always there. So if you don't have the time, then yeah, you should definitely hire someone on Fiverr, because that's why I'm creating, it's almost done, you guys. That's why I'm creating my how to create your own ebook guide course, because by the time you start it and finish it in one day, you'll have an ebook. But you'd have to genuinely carve out like 10 hours or so to just do it and bang it out. Or 48 hours, do it and bang it out, right? It took me 3 months, which was so ridiculous. But I just was like, I felt like I was in college again, like writing an essay. But I'm like, now that I know all the steps, it's so easy. It's like I can literally write an ebook and have one up and announce it by the end of today. Like ebooks are so easy, but I just didn't realize it then. This is before ChatGPT, by the way. This is before ChatGPT. So now incorporating ChatGPT, you can have an ebook today. So that course is literally almost done. So just be on the lookout for that. But Everyday Muscle, if you want one, yeah, you might have to hire someone from Fiverr. Oh, you're 47. Okay, yeah, my bad. What's going on? Someone said, my bad. No disrespect. I don't want any problems. Wow, you look great. Okay, so that's how it ended up on YouTube. I was tired of telling people how to lose weight. I'd give the advice, they acknowledge it, not follow, and then ask what I did months later. Like my steps changed. Seems hard for me. Just don't know about it. Want to do an ebook. Oh my gosh, Top Dog Sales, like you are an excellent speaker and give great advice. And it's like, this is the thing, guys. I want to just be transparent. No, none of you guys have actually told me this, but some of you might be thinking this because this is what I thought. I thought, who am I to think that, hold on, let me turn my heat off real quick. This is getting a little hot. Hold on real quick. Okay. So I literally thought, who am I? Okay. I was like, who am I to think that I can sell something to someone? Like, who am I to think that? Like, I don't have a credential. Like, and again, when you're with the older millennial mindset is like, oh, I have to be certified. I have to have a degree. Like that's because that's what we were taught. So I felt like, I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't allowed to do it or something. But then, okay, please hear me on this. Listen up, listen up, listen up. When I worked at Hooters, okay, selling wings, I was also on a dance team. Now, just stick with me on this. Don't fall away on this. Stick with me. There was calendars that we sold from being on the dance team. Okay. And I'm like, where am I going to sell these calendars? So they gave all the team members 10. So I just was like, where do I sell these? Like, I don't want to sell it to my dad because we were like in bathing suits and stuff. So I was like, okay, I don't want to really sell this to family, right? So I was like, okay, on my shift at work, I'm just gonna lay them when I'm in the bar. I'm gonna lay them on the bar and then just like offer and say, oh hey, like you should get this calendar, like support us, right? Like I didn't even have I didn't even have like a pitch or anything. I just was like, support us, and then people would be like sitting at the bar, drinking their beer, watching the game, or just like got up, for happy hour, and then they're sitting there, right? So they like look at it and they're like, you know what? I'll actually get one, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then eventually, I was like, someone was like, you know what? I actually like, some people had different reasons. Like some people just thought we were cute, and so they bought it. Some people thought they really needed a calendar. So they were like, I actually like really need this, so I'm going to put this in my office. Some people got them as gifts. So some people, because at the time it was called the Central Valley Coyotes, arena football. So they were like, oh my gosh, this is so dope. I'm like, this is going to be the best gift for my uncle or something. So like there was different reasons. So I started to gather the information of like why they were buying it. And then I started to turn it into a pitch. Like, so then I went to my coach. I was like, hey, I sold out. She's like, oh, you did? And I was like, yeah, can I get more? So then I got more and put them on the bar, right? So it's easy to get to. They didn't have to do any extra effort, but like pick it up and look at it. And then I'd be like, oh, like, do you need any extra gifts? Like, oh, wait. Or I'd be like, do you guys like the Central Valley Coyotes? And they're like, yeah, I go to the games. And I'm like, oh, well, we just got these. They're selling out super quick. I don't know how many we're going to have left. And so I learned how to like create urgency, right? And I'm only like 21 selling calendars, right? And so bottom line is I wanted to go into detail about that. You are allowed to sell something that you have or knowledge that you have. Like you can do it. Like you don't need to be told. You don't need to be told from an upper level person. You don't need to be a CEO to finally have a book. Like you can just sell something today. Like seriously. So like this is my thing. Okay, this is another thing. You guys want to know also why I was able to be consistent after doing YouTube for 2 years. Okay? And I think I was barely at 700 subscribers after 2 years. Barely at 700 subscribers, right? And so, which is fine. It was a consistent people, that would pop on my lives. Sometimes 1 or 2 people that would pop on. And then by that point, guys, I had so much skin in the game that I was like, I can't quit. Like, even though I'm not really seeing quote unquote results, but the results were that I was getting better at speaking. The results were that I was getting better at being able to understand YouTube. The results were I was getting better at being able to deal with trolls. The results were I was developing the consistency muscle, right? Like, so I didn't see the results as far as analytics or money in the bank account from YouTube, but I didn't know that I was actually getting value. I was growing in skills. I was growing in, and I'm still growing, right? Like I haven't even touched the surface of like where I could head to, right? So now I'm going to admit this. When I was talking about just basic stuff that women talk about when we're in our late 20s and 30s, we're always analyzing our body, which is sad, but like society puts a lot of pressure on women. You have to look a certain way. You have to oh, you're gaining weight, like all this stuff, right? So I was like, well, I talk about this stuff for hours with my friends. Why don't I talk about this on YouTube? So I started talking about it on YouTube. Of course, there's women that chimed in because it's like an issue in America of like having a lot of pressure about how we should look and all of that. And so then when I started talking about what I've done to like lose weight and my story and how I felt, and I felt crazy and I just felt like I didn't recognize myself and all this stuff. When I talked about how I lost weight, women were like, oh, well, what'd you do? So I was getting feedback right? So then I created the ebook. What helped me show up, you guys, was that I was like, okay, now I can finally feel like I might get an exchange. Because let's be honest, we have to pay bills. Like, I don't know why people feel like when you offer something, or when you have an offer and it has a money value on it, that it's like a big deal. Like, oh my gosh, now you're being a scam artist. It's like, you see the apartment, you know what I mean? Like, I need to live, right? Like, we all have bills. Like, you guys all have families, you guys have children, you have pets, like, you have your investing accounts you want to, so it's like, it's hard because it's like, well, okay, really? I'm supposed to grow on YouTube, but I have bills to pay. So it's hard to, like, what people think is like, oh, I need to build my content and then sell something. I wish I knew what I know now. You should have something to offer the first day you drop a video, to be honest with you. Like, when you think about it, you don't need to build up an audience to then offer something. So I use my Hooters example, which is so funny that I'm like, I would have never known that I'd be referencing Hooters, but like, I didn't have to build up an audience to make $5,000 from selling calendars. You know what I mean? I just was in the proper location and I had something that people like they needed or wanted or found value in, right? So I didn't say, like, I didn't have to, like, I don't know, we didn't have this era where it's like build an audience or build a community first. It was like people used to make money and just going out in the real world. You know what I mean? Like, we actually saw humans in person at one point. In ancient times, people would actually go up to people and talk to them and like offer something. Um, so everyday muscle, spiritual siege. Let's see. Involuntary self-development. Nice. I'm going to look into it. Thanks for the tip. Cup of coffee on me. Back to sales grind. Oh, get it. Get it. I see you. And see, Top Dog Sales, please, please, please. We're when you get your digital product, come and drop it here in the chat. And thank you for the cup of coffee. I'm gonna get some coffee and fill up my big impact mug. I appreciate you. Okay. So bottom line is, guys, if you feel like you can't, like, you don't have motivation, you guys know I keep it real. Like, once we start to get in here and we get comfortable, then I'm like, okay, let me drop some realness on them. Okay. I look at your guys' pages. I look at y'all's pages. Okay. And you guys are smart. You guys have knowledge. You guys are doing awesome things for real. I'm not just saying that. However, I see a big lack in consistency, but I get it because it's like, think about it. Why would you be consistent when you're like, I actually need to like pay my bills, or, I need to like see a return on this investment, and your investment is time, right? Your investment is time. So, now not all of you guys, right? Not all of you guys, but if you had something to offer, even if you didn't make a sale, it would still provoke you to be online more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had your blueprint, if you had your everyday muscle, how you get muscles and you maintain them in your late 40s, like, you're split, right? I actually watched some of your video about like you talking about you want to work on shoulders and they're working on like their lower back, and like kind of like how people lack a plan. That's a really good one. Like, people are out here lacking a plan when they go to the gym. That's why they don't see results. It's the truth. Like, they're like, I don't understand how you look, but I go to the gym just as much as you, but I don't look how you look. Well, because you actually have a like a strategic game plan. When you go in there, you're doing this amount of, you're doing your shoulder, you're just focused on your shoulders. And then like maybe for the day, you're focused on like trying to lift a little heavier, right? Like, you're not doing too much. You're not doing the full body. You're not hitting the hamstrings and the shoulders and the back. And So maybe come up like how you're able to be buff, like sell your split. Sell your split. Oh, my gym rant about my family having no fitness. Exactly. But it's not just your family. So many people don't have a plan. So many people show up to the gym and they do not have a plan. They're like, oh, maybe I'll just like pick up a couple dumbbells and okay, I'll do that and I'll sit on the machine and do the glute machine and okay, and I'm gonna head over to, whatever else and I'll like hit a squat and all right, well, okay, let me get on the elliptical. Like looking loppy, right? And then they're like, I don't understand. Like 3 months goes by and they're like, I'm not, if anything, I look worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're keeping it real, right? Like we're having a real conversation. So everyday muscle, men in their 40s need a plan. Men in their 30s need a plan, but let's be honest, men in their 30s, for some reason they're able to just get buff extra easily because like the testosterone or whatever. But like men in their 40s need a plan, especially working men that have like most of the time when men are in their 40s, on average, they have like a preteen, a kid headed into being a teen. Maybe they might have like, most men in their 40s have kids, right? So have a kid, and working full time. They might have like a comfortable lifestyle with their wife or their girlfriend. And like, there's not really motivation to work out. Maybe they start like looking at their body and they're like, ooh, like I'm just feeling pudgy. Like I'm not trying to be like America's Next Top Model, but like I kind of want to look better. So then they go to the gym and they just like have no idea what they're doing. Right? And so, but you have a plan. So it's like all you do, literally, you go like this. You go to ChatGPT and you go, okay, so design me a plan where this is my split. So on Mondays, I do this, da, 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 da. On Tuesdays, I do this. On Wednesdays, I do this. On Thursdays, I do this. Break that down, put that in a format where it correlates with the amount of reps and the amount of circuits and the level of intensity, like whatever it is. And then it'll shoot you out something. And then you're like, okay, that's not really exactly how I wanted it. And you say, this is good, but be more specific here. Okay, take out this. Like you can literally talk to Gemini, talk to ChatGPT, and then you put it behind a paywall. You put it on Canva, put it behind a paywall, boom. Now, if you want to know exactly like how I did it, again, my thing is coming up soon, but like you can do that. Okay, so you have a son. He's in some of my videos working out. Okay, awesome. So that's another angle. Like being a dad, right? Being a dad. Hey, look, guys. Hey, fellas. Look, just because we're dads in our 40s doesn't mean we have to have a dad bod. And this is the truth. Like men get away with having dad bods more than moms get away with having mom bods. But like women want to look at something that is put together too. I don't know why like people don't want to like talk about that, but like women want to see something nice too. Like I know some women literally don't care, but like there's a huge chunk of women that also enjoy seeing a man like try to keep it together, right? It's called acceptance. Yeah, and the thing is, there's levels, right? Like there's levels. So, no one's asking when you're a hardworking man and you have children and all that, no one's asking you to have a shredded six pack. That's like get more money, go, I need you to actually grind more and like fill up the bank account more, right? Rather than you like spending hours in the gym getting a six pack. But also there's like balance, right? It's like it would be nice. So men that are like complaining, right? Like I have men in my family that are in their 30s that complain like, yeah, I know, I gotta get it together. Man, yeah, I'm trying to get this weight off. And then as we're talking about it, they're smacking off pizza, right? Like men will complain about it, but then like they just like don't know what to do, or they don't have the energy, or they may not have an example. So everyday muscle, you might be the example. You might be the guy that's the example for for your avatar. So you are your own avatar, right? For all the men that are in their 40s, late 40s, maybe even early 50s, that your kids are older now, they kind of don't want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Like maybe some of them do, but they're teenagers, they have like their own teenage stuff they want to do, right? So now you might have a little bit more time. You don't have to like do everything for them, right? Like if they're starving, they know how to make a sandwich, right? Like they're miniature little human, like the miniature little adults in training, right? So they're not completely like just don't know how to do stuff. So now you have a little bit more time to like, and they're allowed to be home alone technically, or take them to the gym with you, right? So there's so many opportunities for everybody to get a raise today. Just go back in time, look at what problems you resolve for people, look at what people go to you for, put that in the ebook and sell it. On your very first video, if you don't have a YouTube channel and you've been wanting to start one, but you feel like you don't have time, I'm telling you, if you have something to promote to potentially make a return, monetary return, it will provoke you to be on there more. But like what happens is a lot of the Embody Pursuit tribe, and I did this too, it's like you'll be on a good run, you'll be feeling like super excited, and then all of a sudden, like you'll just go MIA for 6 weeks. Right? You'll just go MIA for 6 weeks. And why? Because it's like, well, I do love, being online, and I do love answering questions, and I do love creating content, but like I like need to like spend more time. I need to do overtime at work because I need to make money, right? So if you have some kind of offer, a course, right? If you have an ebook, if you have affiliate marketing links, like just something where eventually you're going to make a sale, and it's like you get to do both. You get to add value to people. You get to transform their life in some way, whether it's small or big. Whether you're going to get the body of your dreams and you're going to elevate in social status. You're going to get the body of your dreams and you're going to finally be able to get the man or woman of your dreams. You're going to start eating better, and then you're going to start having more energy. So now you can start your business. Like it's good to encourage people, right? But then at the same time, you're also allowed to sell something. You're also allowed to give them an offer. And you guys, to be honest, I wish I would have learned this at the beginning too, because with the first 700 people that were following me, they were genuinely, because I'm not famous, I'm not an actress, I'm not, we're all everyday people on here, right? So when people were following me, that's when I really should have had an offer the whole time. The very first day I uploaded a video, I should have been like, I hope you guys find value in this. And also I have my blueprint on how I was able to take care of my grandma. I mean, to me, that's not scammy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like that's not a scam to like offer value and then have an offer if they want to go further or dive deeper with your information. Like your life is value, like your experiences in this life, your triumphs, your trauma, things that you've overcome, things that you've resolved, things that you've figured out, right? Like those are valuable things. And yeah, you want to give some of the gems away so people can understand, oh yeah, you actually know what you're talking about. And then following it up with, you know what, also check out my ebook guide. Or you guys, even right now, I have this offered right here. It's free. All it is just signing up, staying connected directly with me, signing up with my email list. That's it. I'm not even selling you anything. I'm not even selling you guys nothing today. Today, what I'm selling you guys on is yourself. And signing up with my mailing list for free. That's it. In exchange for me spending time with you guys for almost an hour, if you're not already on my email list, tap in with me. It's directly, you never know what's going to happen with these platforms. But like, I feel like that's like, so how I just did that, I feel like that's fair. So if you also too, some of you guys kind of got to get more, work on your imposter syndrome. I'm still working on that. I feel like it never goes away. I feel like every time you like reach a new level, you get like a new set of imposter syndrome stuff.